Islam. Praise Allah, high honor prophet. Praise Allah, Father universe, Father love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Praise Allah. Hey, y'all. Happy Thursday. Praise Allah. Happy Thursday. It's April, 15th. April 15th today. Might be the 16th. I don't know. I just a little forgot. But anyways, praise Allah. Happy Thursday, y'all. Hope y'all got out, enjoyed the weather, got some steps in, got some sunlight in. Praise Allah. Honors to you if this is your first time visiting. Honors to you if it's your second time visiting, your third time visiting, your fourth time visiting, etc. Praise Allah. Honors to you. I'm grateful that you're here, listening to the messages of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and listening to my reading of the Holy Quran of More Science of America, and then also listening to my understanding of the chapter that I read. That's the format that I do. I read a chapter from the Holy Quran of More Science of America, and then I give my understanding on the Holy Quran of More Science of America, that chapter. And this understanding is just my understanding. It's not the understanding of the More Science of America. It's not the understanding of different Muslims around the world. It's my personal understanding. And Allah has blessed everybody with their own understanding, and everybody has a God-given right to express their understanding, but still making sure that it's rooted in truth and not falsehood, Praise be to Allah, because Prophet let us know, in all the world there are two things, truth and falsehood that which seems to be. So when we speak in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and our understanding, praise be to Allah, that's us being in our higher self. So again, the Holy Quran of More Science of America, divinely prepared by no prophet Drew Ali, by God and his Father, God Allah, great God of the universe, to redeem man from a sinful and fallen stage of man back to highest plane life with his Father God, Allah. Very first, inside we got Know Thyself in Allah, the genealogy of Jesus, life and works of Jesus, India, Europe and Africa, and the land of Egypt. Then we got the divine prophet Noble Drew Ali here. Praise be to Allah, founder of More Science of America, divine prophet, uplifter of fallen humanity. And we got the brother Saul and Abdul Izzy ibn Saul, praise be to Allah, who at that time in 1927 was the head of Holy City Mecca. And his descendants, as you see, the Saul, Saudi Arabia, praise be to Allah, them is our brothers over there. Praise Allah and honors to everyone, all the Muslims. And today we're going to be reading from chapter 8, the divine instruction on Holy Prophet, chapter 8. Jesus reveals to the people of their sinful ways. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this through, and then after I'm done reading, I'm going to get my understanding on it. Chapter 8, Jesus reveals to the people their sinful ways. In all the cities of Rissa, Jesus taught. At Cacta, by the riverside, he taught, and thousands of the people followed him. One day, a carjacked youth was hauled along by scores of frenzied men, and Jesus said, "Behold, a form without a spirit passes by, a body with no soul, a temple with no altar fires. This car Christian is an empty thing, for Christian is not there. This car is but idol of a people drunk on wine and carnal things. Allah lives not in the noise of tongues. There is no way to him from any idol shrine. Allah's meeting place with man is in the heart. In a still small voice he speaks, and he who hears is still." And all the people said, "Teach us to know the Holy One who speaks within the heart, Allah, the still small voice." And Jesus said, "The holy breath cannot be seen with mortal eyes, nor can men see the spirit of the Holy One. But in the image man was made, and he who looks into the face of man looks at the image of Allah who speaks within. And when man honors man, he honors Allah, and what man does for man, he does for Allah. And you must bear in mind that when man harms in thought or word or deed another man, he does a wrong to Allah. If you will serve Allah who speaks within the heart, just serve your near kin and those who are no kin, the stranger at your gates, the foe who seeks to do you harm. Assist the poor and help the weak. Do harm to none and covet not what is not yours. Then, with your tongue the Holy One will speak. He will smile behind your tears, will light your countenance with joy, and fill your hearts with peace. And then the people asked, to whom shall we bring gifts? Where shall we offer sacrifice? And Jesus said, our Father, Allah asks not for needless waste of plant, of grain, of dove, of lamb. That which you burn on any shrine you throw away. No blessing can attend the one who takes the food from hungry mouths to be destroyed by fire. When you offer sacrifice unto Allah, just take your gift of grain or meat and lay it on the table of the poor. From it an instant will rise to heaven, which will return to you with blessedness. To dying idols, they can hear you not. Turn all your sacrificial altars into fuel for the flames. Make human hearts your altars and burn your sacrifices with the fire of love. And all the people were in trance. Jesus as a God. But Jesus said, I'm your brother man. Just come to show the way to Allah. You should not worship man. Praise Allah, the Holy One. Islam. Praise Allah, praise Allah, praise Allah. Prophet Jesus, the prophet, the divine prophet Jesus, speaking to us here, letting us know. Say he reveals to the people of their sinful ways. He letting us all know what we doing wrong for our uplifting. To keep us from going down the wrong path. It's not done to embarrass us or to make us feel bad about ourselves. It's to let us know that about our higher self and how the lower self can creep in, and the danger that we got to watch out for and where we can really meet Allah. This chapter titled Jesus Reveals to the People Their Sinful Ways. So we'll continue on. Instruction 1 says, in all the cities of Rissa, Jesus taught. At Cacta, by the riverside, he taught, and thousands of the people follow him. So in Rissa, remember, he had went to Rissa with Ravana. Ravana came over to Israel for was met at the Jewish feast. He was seeking wisdom in the West. So he met Jesus when Jesus was about 12, 13 years old. So then he brought Jesus to the East, and Jesus became a pupil in the temple of Jaganuth. And here he learned the Vedas and the Manic law. So you imagine around this time, he's probably about, it's hard to say, exactly how old he is, but around this time, he probably, 15, 16 maybe. Or he might, still be around 12. I don't know. The prophet doesn't really let us know how many years passed through here. But we do know that this is covering years from 12 to 30, though. So kind of a little chronological order, these chapters. So he's a young man. He's teaching through all the cities of Rissa. Imagine Rissa as a state. Like we got the state of Ohio. You got different cities in the state of Ohio. Imagine him going through the different cities and teaching, and that's what he did. Said by the riverside he taught, and thousands of the people follow him. So there's a lot of people following Jesus. Thousands of people follow him. Said one day a car Jaganuth was hauled along by scores of frenzied men, and Jesus said, behold, a foreign foul spirit passes by, a body with no soul, a temple with no altar fires. Think about that. Think about that like, say you're sitting somewhere and a parade goes by. Like a parade, like we see on Thanksgiving, or you might see like the Rose Bowl parade. And they got these big old floats, and there's things like it might be a float of a fish, right? Or it might be a float of a bird. But we know there's no bird within there. We know that's not a fish within there. And we know it's not an actual living fish. And that's kind of like what Jesus is saying here. He's saying, behold, a form without a spirit passes by, a body with no soul, a temple with no altar fires. So he's saying what they were seeing at that moment was just, it just was a representation, but wasn't nothing really in there. Said this car Christian is empty thing, for Christian is not there. So, it was like somebody trying to carry like a star and crescent and be like, oh, Allah's in there. Allah's not in that star and crescent. Like say somebody carrying a flag or something. Oh, Allah's in there. No, Allah's not in there. Allah can't be bound by things like that. And Krishna is an Indian word, for the chief God, for the one God. Prophet said, this car is by idol of people drunk on wine and carnal things. So he's calling out what it was, They really wasn't celebrating Krishna. They was celebrating carnal things. So there's no telling what they all had going on up in there. They could have had, anything, say drunk on wine and carnal things. So, they had just a whole bunch of carnalness going on, but they was trying to say, it's for Krishna. Prophet says, Allah lives not in the noises of tongues. There's no way to him from any idol shrine. The Prophet let us know that what we say, like we can say we love Allah all we want. We could say we do this for Allah all we want. We could do all these different things like saying, but Prophet let us know that Allah don't live in the noise of tongues. And he continues on, he says, there's no way to him from any idol shrine. An idol shrine, I be using this thing. Say I think my God is in there. Say I say Allah is in there. I come up here and talk to this thing every day. Say, no, Allah, I think, no, that's an idol shrine. A man made that. The Prophet letting us know there's no way to him from any idol shrine. Idol shrine could even be, it could even be you going to a service, you going to somewhere, but your heart not really in it. It's like if you playing sports, you go to practice every day, but if your heart not in it, there's no way to greatness. Think about it like that. You practicing your craft, but there's no heart in it. You're not really trying your hardest. You're not really feeling it. You're not in tune with it. Don't expect to be great unless it's just a God-given gift and you could get by, right? But once you come across other people who got that same God-given gift and they actually got their heart in it, they're going to end up overshadowing you. That's what the Prophet letting us know. Allah lives not in noise of tongues. There's no way to him from any idol shrine. Just because someone goes to the temple every Friday night, somebody goes to church every Sunday, somebody goes to the synagogue every Saturday, whatever place of worship they go to, but if their heart ain't in it, they just trying to reach Allah from an idol place, from an idol shrine, somewhere where it's not going to happen. Prophet says, Allah's mean place with man is in the heart, and the still small voice he speaks, and he who hears is still. Prophet letting us know right there in our chest. That's where my heart is at. I don't know where anybody else's physical heart is at, but as far as I'm concerned, in this reality, on this earth, the heart is right there in my chest. Now, we could take this deeper, metaphysical and stuff. And yeah, within your soul, you got your spirit, and you got the spirit of Allah. So right there, yeah. But for keeping it simple, keeping it base level, when I think of the heart, I think of this right here, because this is my heart. This is what I've known as my heart. This is what all around the world, this organ right here is called the heart. In the heart, you feel things in your heart. before you even get a thought about it sometimes. Your heart can be measured from outside of your body. There's some technology out there, you send out a vibration with your heart. You think about your heart is pumping, is moving, it's sending energy waves. Every time it pumps, it's sending out energy waves. So it's a power source. The brain consumes power. The heart generates power. Now the brain can create things that generate power, but our original power generators in our body, outside of anything, just purely physical, talking about Western science, purely physical, it is your heart. Your heart is what pumps and gives life to everything else in your body. If your heart not pumping, ain't nothing else working. If you go brain dead and your heart still pumping, you technically alive. But if your heart stop and it stays stopped for a certain amount of time, no matter what your brain is doing, your brain is going to end up going away. The heart, the most important, the heart. And that's what it's about, knowing your heart and listening to your heart. Praise be to Allah. Prophets say, in a still small voice he speaks. So Allah speaks to us with a still small voice. He don't be raising his voice. He don't be trying to make, it extra loud. All this other stuff, that men do. Allah reach out to us in a still small voice, a constant voice. Something that you won't mistake. A still small voice. So you think like something still. No, it's not moving. Then small voice is always there. And it says, and he who hears is still. You often told, be still. And that's a point for us to reach within and to understand and to listen. Instead of trying to be doing all the time, sometimes we just got to sit there, be still, and listen. Because we could be searching the world for answers. If Allah don't put the answer out in the world, guess what? You're going to be searching the world forever. But when you sit down and be still, Allah will bring the answer to you when you're ready to hear it. It's like if I'm trying to learn a lesson and I go to a school, but I'm sitting there talking the whole time, I'm not going to learn the lesson because I'm trying to talk too much instead of listen. And that's the key for us, to listen. To listen to the still small voice. Praise be to Allah. And then the prophet go on and says, I apologize, y'all probably heard my cat. Sometimes he be getting like that. I don't know. He probably want to come in here. He crying, a little bit to come up in here. But if y'all let him in here, y'all, he be going all over the place, acting crazy. So, he all right out there. He just crying to try to get me to let him come in. He's using his still small voice. I hear him. I feel for him. But right now we gotta be about this. It's our Father's work. He know that too. Prophet said, and all the people said, teach us to know the Holy One who speaks within the heart. Allah, the still small voice. So the people wanted to learn. And praise be to Allah. That's what it's about. Wanting to learn. Being willing to learn. It's a difference between being taught and not willing to learn versus being taught and being willing to learn. If somebody goes to school and they don't really want to hear it, again, it's that same idea. There's no way to him from any outer shrine. If you're not really into it, don't even really get started on it. Because you're just gonna be shortchanging yourself. And sometimes, if you got the inkling though, just a small inkling, like we spoke about with the force, the will of Allah. If you got a small inkling to start though, even though you might not be sure, start. But if you know for sure that you don't even want to do it, don't even start. Like say you've been thinking about starting a business, but you are unsure about it. Go ahead and take that first step. No, don't sit there and wait until you're super sure, because you trying to do it. You got that in you. Now, if you know you don't want to start a business, you don't want to do nothing with the deal with starting a business, you just want to work for somebody else your whole life, then hey, do that. Don't even try to start a business. If you got a little inkling that you want to start a business, go ahead and get started. You learn on the way. You got that will within you. You want to do that. So it's a difference, the intention. So these people wanted to learn. They had that intention. They wanted to learn. It said, teach us to know the Holy One who speaks within the heart. Allah, the still small voice. And this is important too, because these was the people who was already following Jesus too. And that's a lesson for myself and for everybody, Find the people or minister to the people who's actually wanting to be ministered to, that's following you or, with you. Don't go trying to, like saints say, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it. And I had to learn that lesson hard way, early in my life. I was trying to get everybody on board, what I was doing, no matter what they thought. And I kind of hurt some relationships with that. I would change how I went about it and just let them be on their own, like how they is, and just distance myself and not say nothing to them. That's why I would go back, but the past is the past. I can't change it. So now I know that going forward, though, I'm not like this video. This video is for Muslims and for the seekers of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. If you're not one of those, then I'm not really, trying to get this out there to you. If it reaches you, praise be to Allah. But if you're a Muslim or a seeker of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, this video will find you naturally because it's in your vibration. It's the right vibe. It's going to come to you eventually. So like you can't force a match. Like you take two magnets and they both that way, they're going to repel each other all day. You got to find the ones that's ready for each other. The Prophet says, and Jesus said, the holy breath cannot be seen with mortal eyes, nor can men see the spirit of the Holy One. So the holy breath, we can't see the holy breath with our mortal eyes, but we could see the manifestation of the holy breath, like we spoke about yesterday. This human flesh is a manifestation of holy breath. Like the Prophet told us, man is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Said man is the breath made manifest. Prophet said, so I'm not getting it confused. Prophet said man is the breath made flesh. So truth and falsehood can join in him. So the Prophet letting us know that we the breath made flesh. But even then though, the holy breath cannot be seen with mortal eyes, nor can men see the spirit of the Holy One. So we can't see the spirit of Allah. Someone say they see the spirit of Allah. You let them be. Praise be to Allah. But the Prophet let us know, he said, but in their image man was made. And he who speaks within, and he who looks into the face of man looks at the image of Allah who speaks within. So it says, but in their image man was made. So we was made in the image of the holy breath, though, in the image of the Holy One. So we was made in the image of God. Don't get that twisted, right? So all of us, no matter what you look like, you made in the image of God. And when you look into the face of man, to the face of humanity, you see the image. You look at the image of Allah who speaks within. That's why when you see somebody, you feel a connection. Because you looking at the reflection of Allah. You're looking at the image of Allah who speaks within. When you're looking at somebody truly, you feel that deep connection with them. And it's beyond anything physical. It's the divine. Prophet says, again, looks at the image of Allah who speaks within. Like when that image. So it's not like this right here. Again, this is an image of a goat. It's not a goat, right? Like this right here, like this is like an image of the Black Panther, but it's not the Black Panther, right? Like this is like the image of the Prophet Muhammad Ali, but it's not the Prophet Muhammad Ali. So it's an image. It's like it, but it's not it exactly. It looks like it, but it's still, it doesn't have all the characteristics, you know. Then Prophet continues on, he says, and when man honors man, he honors Allah. And what man does for man, he does for Allah. So every time you do something good for one another, you really doing a service to Allah. That's why you feel good when you help somebody out. Because you're not only helping them out, but you're doing a service for Allah. You serving God when you help one another out. The Prophet said, and you must bear in mind that when man harms in thought or word or deed another man, he does wrong to Allah. No, I'm guilty of that. You know, I'm working on that. That's one of the main things I work on. I work on that every day. You know, harming in thought, thinking a bad thought about somebody, or, you know, a bad thought or harming thought could be anything. It could be, you know, you see somebody riding a bike, you might just randomly hope they fall off their bike, right? Don't stick with that thought, though. Acknowledge that you had that thought, because that's a thought that come up from the lower self. And then you could counter it, though, with the higher self. You say, hey, that's not right to think. They fell off that bike, they could really get hurt. Or you see somebody walking down the street, and they might not look good to you. You know, you might think, oh, they, you know, might think that they ugly or whatever. Don't go with that thought. Just say, hey, Allah made them the way that Allah made them. They beautiful to Allah. They beautiful to, you know, they're part of humanity. They're beautiful to some. They might not be beautiful to you, but that's not like physically, but that's not for you to operate off of. You know, they ain't made for you. They made for themselves, and whoever in the world that sees them physically beautiful, that's them. Praise be to Allah. You know, the Prophet letting us know, you know, harming in thought, you know, you could think a jealous thought of somebody. That's harming in thought. You could think a thought of where you could think that somebody is out to get you. That's a harming thought. You see somebody, oh, I know they hating on me. All right, that's a harming thought. Cause why you directing, you know, that energy of hate? You know, all these things that come up from the lower self. Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. Them is the things that we always got to check in our minds. You know, with our higher self. Our higher self is mother virtues and harms of life. And breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. The things related to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Let that always be what you operate off of. When you have a bad thought, you check that bad thought. You don't let it keep on going forward. It's like if you in a boxing match, somebody keep on hitting you with a jab, you're not going to let them keep on hitting you with the jab unless you want to lose. And that's what it's about with our inner life. When we see something going on, you know, when we recognize we have a bad thought, and recognize we say a bad word, recognize when we do a bad deed to one another, we doing the wrong to Allah. And the key is to not keep going with that. As soon as you recognize it, you got to correct it. You can't let that keep on going, because it's just like if you get a cut on your hand. If you don't clean it up, it's going to get infected. And as soon as it get infected, it's that much harder to get rid of, that much harder to clean, and it becomes that much more dangerous. So don't let things start early. As soon as you see it trying to start, got to stop it. So when I'm walking down the street, I see somebody and they might not be looking friendly at me. I can't let that direct my thought. I can't let they action direct my thought. I gotta do what I need to do. Be love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And if they not with that, I keep it pushing. I keep it pushing. And that's all. That's all we could do. Praise be to Allah in that situation. And the Prophet says, if you would serve Allah who speaks within the heart, just serve your near kin and those who are no kin, the stranger at your gates, the foe who seeks to do you harm. The Prophet is saying there, if you would serve Allah who speaks within the heart, serve all of humanity. No matter who it is. Serve everybody. Help out everybody. Because when you help out everybody, you uplifting. And as you uplifting, it's doing nothing but it has to become greater. If you uplifting something, it can't stay in the same position. Like if I'm lifting weights, if I'm doing a deadlift, and I start to lift that weight up, it's going to move. If I got the strength for it. There's no way that's just going to stay there. And once I let it go, it's going to drop back to the ground, right? But once you put that action into it, and what we working on is the soul plane, the spirit plane, the physical plane. So when we uplift on them, when we uplift our souls, and teach other people how to uplift themselves, it carries on. It's an uplifting thought. You teach somebody something. Once you teach somebody something, they got it for themselves. They carry it themselves. If you never played football before, somebody teach you how to carry a football. They taught you that first time, but after that, you carrying it. And that's the same thing with this, And the Prophet said, if you serve Allah who speaks within the heart, when you serve all of humanity, you uplifting that part of humanity, whoever it is. And you did your part. If they don't keep themselves uplifted after that, that's on them. Prophet Muhammad said, he said in the Great Crown of Muhammad, he said, I'm just a plain warner. I'm a plain messenger. You can't say that I didn't tell you. And that's what we got to be about. We uplift, we let people know. And if they can't maintain it, that's on them. They can't ever say that you didn't show them that. The Prophet said, if you serve Allah who speaks within the heart, just serve your near kin, and those who are no kin, the stranger at your gates, the foe who seeks to do you harm. Help everybody. The Prophet said, assist the poor and help the weak. Do harm to none and covet not what is not yours. Again, the Prophet is saying, assist the poor and help the weak. You see a poor person on the streets, go give them a little bit of money. You got access to some food, give them some food. If you give them some money and they spend that money on something that ain't beneficial to them, that was their decision. That was their decision. You give somebody food, that's going to help them. They might not have to go eat out a dumpster, or they might not have to go do something that they don't want to do in order to just have something to eat. So much ways that we could help, Assisting the poor is giving an uplifting thought too. Teaching somebody something, teaching them a skill. Because that could help keep them out of poverty. You teach somebody a skill, that will keep them out of poverty. Like our people, my people, Asiatics, more cent, we got to learn how to keep our money right, how to invest our money, how to keep it flowing. That's assisting, teaching a skill that keeps wealth going. Prophet then says, and help the weak. When you see somebody in a weak situation, don't kick them while they down. Help them out. Help them out. Prophet calling us, do harm to none and covet not what is not yours. He calls on us to do harm to none. Don't think a harming thought. Don't think a harming thought. Don't say a harming thought. Don't do a harming thought. Do your best not to do those. Do harm to none. And that's everything. He said do harm to none. That means no one. That means do your best not to do harm to the animals, the earth. Do harm to none. As an image of Allah, it's my responsibility to make sure I'm causing least harm as possible at all times, in all my actions, my thoughts, my words. When people say limit your carbon footprint, they're talking about, limit how much gas you use, how much plastic you use, all that. But limit the harm you're doing, just in general. Try not to think a harmful thought. Try not to do a harmful action. Try not to say a harmful word. Do all these things. That's what the prophet Jesus calling on us to do. He said, covet not what is not yours. That could be physical property. That could be somebody's significant other. That could be somebody's gift. Don't covet. Be grateful for what you got. And what you got, magnify it. Build it up. That's what the prophet is teaching us. Because he knows our condition. He knows where we came from. He knows what we went through. He has to let us know. He has to remind us. It's for all of humanity. Then the prophet said, then, with your tongue, the Holy One will speak. And you'll smile behind your tears, will light your countenance with joy, and fill your hearts with peace. When you do these things, the Holy One, with your tongue, the Holy One will speak. You smile behind your tears. Because a lot of times in our life, when you do the right thing, you often end up being the one that's hurt. And that's not right. It shouldn't be like that. But the condition in the world that we in right now, that's just how it is. But that doesn't give us an excuse not to keep on being how we supposed to be. The prophet was the example for us. We think about our brother Jesus on the cross and all that he went through. Because he lived what he lived. He lived this message. Allah was happy. Allah was smiling. Jesus was smiling. He wasn't in pain. He was in physical pain up there, but he knew what he went through. It was a reason. And we think about our brother Jesus now to this day. So what he went through wasn't in vain. And when he spoke, the Holy One did speak through his lips, through his tongue. And that's what the prophet letting us know, that we got that same ability. That when we live our lives according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, the Holy One will speak with your tongue, and others will hear an uplifting voice, uplifting thought that could help them in their lives. You will direct an uplifting action. All these things. And you smile behind your tears. These could be tears of joy. These could be tears of sadness, tears of pain. It just says, we'll smile behind your tears. And that's what you could build on. Because that's eternal. That's real force. It's not going to go nowhere. You're building up a reservoir. Every time you go through some trial and you make it through using love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, you build up a reservoir. You don't know when you need that reservoir. In any situation, you done built it up though. Don't think that it's going to waste. That power, that energy is building up every time you use it. When you make that right decision, it says, and fill your hearts with peace. How's filling your heart with peace? Because you're doing the right thing. If I make a business deal and I know I could cut this person out that did a lot of work for me. I could legally cut them out, right? I could legally cut them out. Like this is perfectly legal. Nothing's wrong with it. According to the law, the legal law. I could write this person out. I wouldn't be at peace. Because I had an opportunity to do the right thing. And what I do? Acted with hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. That will keep your heart from being at peace. So many people have problems that seem like they done made it because they done did so many wrong things to people in order to seem like they made it. Like the prophet Jesus told us in the New Testament about the rich man and the camel. It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to make it to heaven. That's because when you're not doing things according to love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, you will have no peace. But when you're doing with love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, Allah fills your heart with peace. You could lay down in your bed and go to sleep at night easy. So if you're going through that issue, right your wrongs. If you wrote somebody out on a contract when you shouldn't have did it, go fix it. Nothing is binding like that. You go to the court, hey, I made a mistake. I need to change this. Boom, it's changed. It's not that hard. Legally. But you gotta go through with your heart though. Yeah, but look, you did that. That's your lesson, and you're gonna have to keep on learning it. Regardless of if you don't make it right in this life, you're gonna have to come back the next life and learn it. And in the next life, you might be on the opposite side of it. How about that? Again, praise Allah. And then the people ask, to whom should we bring gifts? Where shall we offer sacrifice? And Jesus said, our Father, Allah asks not for needless waste of plant, of grain, of dove, of land. So Prophet letting us know, Allah not asking for all this, that we think of, sacrifice, all that people do, in regards to material things. Like, oh, I give this to Allah, and they burn a valuable resource that somebody could have used. It's like say you're somewhere and somebody's dying of a disease or a virus or something that can only be cured by this one plant, right? And you got the plant in your possession, but then you be like, oh, I'm gonna burn this plant to give praise to Allah so that it saves you, so that Allah will save you. When you had the plant right there that you could have physically administered to them, that would have saved them. That's how simple this stuff get. That's how simple it gets. That I thank the Prophet, I give honors to the Prophet for making it so simple. He said that which you burn on any shrine you throw away. No blessing can attend the one who takes food from hungry mouths be destroyed by fire. So again, people talk about, back in these days, they want to make sure people wasn't hungry no more. So then they would sacrifice, fruits and vegetables and say, oh, I hope nobody's hungry no more. And then they burn it. Instead of going to the street where they know all the hungry people is at and giving it out, oh, I hope you're not hungry no more. People would just burn it. So that's like not being sincere. That's that idol trying to reach Allah just through noise of tongues and rituals and incantations and all this other stuff, that men like to do to waste time and to act like they're doing something, but they're really not. And that's what the Prophet is teaching us not to be like. Don't be like that. The Prophet says, when you offer sacrifice unto Allah, just take a gift of grain or meat and lay it on the table to the poor. And right here, it's a lot of misconceptions about this verse too. But historically, the archaic meaning of meat is actually related to the flesh of a vegetable or the flesh of a fruit. So take that as you will. Prophet though letting us know Said, take the gift of grain of meat and lay it on the table to poor. So instead of, burning it or whatever, just take it to the people who actually need it. That's anything in life. If you know somebody struggling with something, don't necessarily take it somewhere else. Take it directly to who needs it. I know you need this. I'm not going to take it over here. I know you need it right here, so I'm going to bring it to you right here. People will take it somewhere else and they're like, oh, look, I tried. No, you didn't. I mean, you tried, but you tried in a scanty way. You tried in a way that you knew nothing was going to happen from it, but maybe you get enriched. That's what we have to be aware of. All these different things going on in the world, say that they're doing this for that, and then come to find out they weren't doing that for that. Instead, it was going to this. So if you ever get that feeling in your heart, just go do what you need to do in your actual. I used to sometimes feed people in Columbus during Ramadan. I could have donated money to some Ramadan fund that would feed people in the Middle East somewhere. I said, why would I do that when I could go to Kroger's? I could get some bananas, some bread, peanut butter, jelly, make them some sandwiches, put the water bottle in there, piece of fruit up in there, paper bag, say, hey, and give it to them. Right there. I do it directly if you can. That way you know. Prophet said, from the instant will rise to heaven, which return to you blessedness. So it go up to heaven, that karma, you will feel good from doing it. And that's the thing, how our bodies work too. When we do something good, it creates a reward cycle. It creates a cycle. Like when you work out, you feel it, it's good. It returns to you. It goes up to, heaven. You creating a heaven for yourself. You make yourself strong. You make yourself look better. You creating a heaven for yourself. Then it creates a feedback loop. You won't keep on doing that. But you got to be cautious too, because it works in reverse with negative things. But the prophet is teaching us that feedback loop in a positive way. So when we help out one another, it's going to return because it's going to make you feel good. And when you in that feel good state, you don't know what you're going to accomplish because you're feeling good. Always be open to helping people using the principles of love, truth, peace, and justice. Situation for myself, it could be an event, go help do something, right? I go there, go help, and I might meet somebody that I needed to talk to that could help me with my business. Not saying start doing things just seeking the benefit of what it could do for you, but know that that's a built-in benefit. Don't exploit it and be insincere, because Allah knows your heart. But do it because you know it's the right thing to do. And then that's how great our God is. He don't tell us to do stuff and say, oh, you might get it. No, he say, do this and I'm going to give you this. That's the power. That's being real. And I thank Allah for that. Prophet says, tear down your idols. They can hear you not. Turn all your sacrificial altars into fuels for the flame. So like this, if I was here and worshiping this, I'd be better off throwing this into a wood pile for some homeless people to stay warm in the winter. Said, make human hearts your altars and burn your sacrifices with the fire of love. So human hearts, that means helping somebody. You see somebody struggling carrying some groceries, go over there, hey, let me help you out real quick. That's that. Burning your sacrifice with the fire of love. You're going to burn some energy. You're going to burn some calories. Say you're trying to burn calories. You at the grocery store. You see an old lady struggling, taking her groceries up onto the bus or taking her, or pushing her cart somewhere. Go run over there and help her. You're going to burn some calories. You're going to help yourself and you're going to help Allah. You're going to help her. That's how it all work, uplift. All going higher and higher. And the prophet says, well, then we are told, and all the people are in trance, had Jesus as a God. But Jesus said, I'm your brother, man. Just come to show the way to Allah. You should not worship man. Praise Allah, the Holy One. Hey, that's from Jesus' mouth himself, what he said. And that's the humbleness of Jesus, the sincerity of Jesus, who always tells us he never did nothing but through the will of his Father. And again, he's letting us know he's our brother, man. Just come to show the way to Allah. He tells us you should not worship man. Praise Allah, the Holy One. Praise Allah, the Holy One. Praise Allah, praise Allah. Give honor to each and every one of y'all for listening to this video. I hope y'all found it as a benefit as I did. Just being able to get my understanding has all this. Every time I do this, it helps I understand my mission better and better. It helps me every day because I'm going over what I know is true. Like, this ain't no belief for me. This is faith. Like, I know this is true. And as I go over it and discuss it, it's pushing me closer and closer to fruition. And I thank Allah for that. And I just extend honors to y'all for being a part of that. And with that, again, that was from the Holy Crown of More Science of America, divinely prepared by no prophet Drew Ali, by God and his Father, God Allah, great God of the universe, to redeem man from the sinful and fallen stage of man back to highest plane of life with his Father, God, Allah. And that was chapter 8. Jesus reveals to the people their sinful ways. Praise Allah, praise God, the great God. That's what it's about, knowing what it's about, knowing that truth. So again, honors to each and every one of you. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. And I'll be back at it on Monday. So the thing that I'm going to do, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be making these videos where I'm reading. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be working on shorts for y'all. And they'll be shorts from the videos. So it might be a short from when I read in chapter 1. It's going to be a short. And the related video is going to be, chapter 1 video. So I'm looking to try to get those out to y'all. I don't want to drop them all at the same day. But yeah, so Monday we'll be back at it. But in the meantime, I'll be making some shorts for y'all. And y'all be able to, hear something I feel was a key understanding. And then, resonate to you. You go back and watch the whole video and praise be to Allah. As I said, it all goes up higher and higher. Praise Allah, to uplift one another. Praise Allah. Honor to y'all. Praise Allah. Peace.